2.5 minutes.
Minister, I stand here before you following a very useful and informative meeting that you had with representatives in my own constituency from the GEA, from our HSE officials, from Pieta House, from members of So Sad, and of course people who are affected by the loss of a loved one through suicide. And I stand here before you to reiterate the points that I would have made at that meeting about the needs and the critical needs, because we have seen a disproportionate increase of young people taking their own lives and attempts to take their own lives in my own constituency. And I firmly believe, Minister, that the resources that are required don't currently exist in my own constituency. And at that time I asked for three specific asks. One, that we see the likes of Jigsaw come to the constituency of Cavan Monaghan, and I know you're very much to the fore and supportive of that idea, but we need to see, I suppose, the HSE come on board and make that commitment to the area, because it is something that provides early intervention. I am absolutely convinced it is something that's needed for young people in the area. Secondly, I would ask you, Minister, here today, if you could give a commitment to the provision of scan nurses for Cavan Monaghan. I know from speaking to those who are working at the coalface, the HSE, the GPs, the nurses, the staff that are presented with these problems from young people coming into them, that scan nurses would be instrumental in terms of getting that early intervention, that critical need that's needed for young people when they find themselves in those dark places. And thirdly, Minister, I would ask you that primary care psychologist support be put in place for young people across Cavan Monaghan. I cannot reiterate to you, Minister, the need and I suppose the dark place that I've seen young people in, the number of lives that have taken. I've seen as young as 16 taken their own life in the constituency of Cavan Monaghan, and I don't need to tell you the trauma that is left behind, the trail of destruction for family members, for communities who rally together. But in these times, Minister, it's been particularly difficult, I suppose, to support families in the way that they're needed. And that's why I'll just reiterate the point. Jigsaw is what's needed for Cavan Monaghan. Scan nurses is what are needed. And obviously that primary care psychologist support, those extra hours, would be much, much appreciated, Minister.
Deputy Alan Dillon.